All right, and we're live. So, welcome everybody once again to the latest and greatest tech talk show on Wednesday night. That's us, Unhinged Tech, myself, TechOdyssey, and we also have English Dan Reviews.
That's right.
Who didn't have computer problems tonight?
Because I bought a MacBook again.
I have Team Stream MacBook. Our potato quality 720p cameras.
Yeah, I mean, what is that about? I mean, I still cannot get my head around it. Even the iPhone 8 and 7 had a better selfie camera than the 2019 $2,400 upwards MacBook Pro. How does that even compute?
Makes no sense.
Oh, look, here's Lionsman.
Yeah, I want free donuts. All right, Tubby, go to the grocery store, go get some.
Badass.
Just stand there like, please, may I have another?
Yeah. Just with icing on, please. Piss off.
Yeah. While you're at it, get you one of those, get you some of those KFC scented candles.
Oh, man, those KFC blocks. Damn, I tell you, if I had a fire right now, I'd be like,
Or is it fire logs or is it candles?
Fire logs.
Yeah, that's what it is, fire logs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was reading one of the comments on there, and I was talking briefly with my boss earlier because I still have a boss right now, and we're talking about things. And I was like, man, take a look at this that I saw today. This is disgusting. How in the world does somebody come up with a KFC scented fire log for your house?
They make KFC tracksuits, and they also make KFC Crocs with a scented charm hanging off them. I'm just saying.
Pretty soon they're going to have like a KFC scented like his and hers body spray.
The problem is that the shoes and everything else and the wood blocks probably smell and taste better than KFC itself. So.
Oh my God. Shoes and Crocs, though? I mean, those stink already. Why would you want to combine that body odor and wear and tear with 11
It's designed, the Crocs are designed like a bucket of chicken.
Oh, it's so gross, though.
Mm-hmm. Hang on, let me see if I can find something on my phone that my wife tagged me in the other day. Ooh, I've not put Facebook on there.
Yeah, I saw it. The one with the woman.
The woman with no shoes on
in that KFC tracksuit.
Yeah. Like, sweetheart, you need to not be in KFC for a while.
Yeah, if you want your house to smell like KFC for the holidays, then please go ahead.
Oh my gosh, let's see.
But the comments on here are golden. I'm sorry, we're going to talk about tech in a minute, but I just want to share some of this funny stuff with y'all. It's where is it? Chrome tab. Here we go. I'll go ahead and share my screen so you can see it. So maybe y'all can see what I'm seeing here. But, the comments on here, I think the first one was like, I love this one. Thanks. Just got one from my wife so I can burn it while she's on the Peloton.
That's evil.
Well, I just got three of them. I feel dirty. Taking the whole taste like chicken mantra to another level.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
I tell you what, though, my house smells like Little Caesars right now. And I was thinking about that earlier. It's $5. It's a great value for the pizza, but the cost is not the money. The secondary cost is your garage and your kitchen smelling like it for 2 days after you buy their $5 pizza.
Yes, I concur.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, my mom decided to be nice because, she's like, oh, you're losing your job. Let me bring you some pizza for the kids. I'm like, Mom, I'm fine. I'm not that desperate for
Little Caesars?
Huh?
She brought you Little Caesars pizza?
Yeah, she likes to do that every once in a while. She picks up the Caesars and she brings it over.
All right, Little Caesars. The little lunch menu thing they do, the $5 for a
not bad.
Yeah, that little $5 meal, that's really good.
Yeah. So, that's not bad. But, since, I've got a million kids, so she brings over, she got 3 large pizzas and 2 orders of Crazy Bread, and she brings it over.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, thanks, Mom. And, when it's nice and hot and fresh, it's not that bad. But, oh, my gosh, I have to smell it every time I walk out here to my studio to go through the garage. I'm like, ugh. It just smells so bad. What you got there? Oh yeah. Well, if you can get there you go.
Look at that. She got Colonel Sanders in the butt as well as the back. Look at that.
That's terrible.
Finger licking good. Anyway.
Finger licking good. How do you like that envelope I sent you?
That was funny. That's the kind of thing I did to Joe. I did the same kind of thing to Joe. I knew as soon as it was sat there in the mailbox, and what happens is my mailman just signs for everything for me. I don't have to sign for anything. It's great. Unless it's other things that you know about. But then I'm like, don't sign those ones. But yeah, he'll sign the mail. So when I saw it, I was like, yeah, he's going to think I've had to stand there and explain to the mailman why he says this. Yeah, mailman knows me personally, so he would have just been like, what? And signed it, put it in the mailbox. As soon as we got it out there, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I was getting ready to send it off, and I'm like, let me go ahead and have some fun with this. So anyway.
Absolutely, you've got to, because, so I told you I had another case coming for the Fold.
Yeah.
It came today. I'm going to send it you anyway, just because.
Okay.
And I want you to just absolutely destroy it.
What is it? KFC?
It's disgustingly cheap and hard. This is called it's a painted tempered glass case. You think it'd be really nice?
I can make another video called "I Was Wrong." This is really the worst case for the Fold.
It really is the worst thing I've ever seen. So
I tell you what, though, I did make that video.
There's Joe
about the worst case for the Galaxy Fold 2, and it finally started to get some traction here recently, and people are like, "Yeah, they got me too." There's like 10 or 12 people like, "Yeah, case sucks. Case is trash."
Yeah, I mean, that Spigen video of mine, I've not even looked at it recently. But last time I looked at it, it had 14,000 views. I was like, what? Why do people care so much? But
I can't scroll down and see the comments. I don't know. There we go. There we go. Oh, I guess Joe's updated his name to Chasm?
Jism.
So congratulations to the real Joe Hussey, who got his 100 subscribers. So he has his official YouTube channel names. So
Glory hole Bob over there. 17,000 on the first look of the Spigen.
Crazy.
Really?
No one said it was a requirement to read to have a YouTube.
Hey, Joe hit 100 subs today.
He did. I think I got that last video. Anyway, congratulations, Joe. I'm happy for you. I'm glad you got your custom URL.
Now make videos, you bum.
Yeah, make more videos.
Mm-hmm.
I need the content.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm running out of material to slate you on, other than it getting personal. I don't want to do that because we don't talk personal lives. I could always text you, though, couldn't I, and start saying shit about you. I need to stop swearing. I've got to remember it's Wednesday night.
That's okay. We're not monetized anyway because you got
the it doesn't matter, does it? It's free for all, guys. Free for all.
So hopefully everybody has hit the subscribe button to the new channel. If you'll probably notice that, of course, now that we have our own dedicated Unhinged Tech channel, so everybody doesn't think it's my show because it's our show. And then two, we can start growing our live stream, which is something that we enjoy doing. So glad we're here tonight. I guess now that it's been like 9 minutes and we've offended probably any of the new guests that showed up to watch the show.
It's fine. It's fine.
I mean, I had a good time. So, I mean,
it was amusing. So I'm fine.
Yeah. I like to hear myself talk. So, I mean, it's Wednesday night. I fell asleep earlier. I made dinner and I was so tired today. I laid down and it was like an hour and 15 minutes went by. I'm like, I'm going to go comb over the front half of my hair that still exists and go get on the camera.
Just wear a hat. It's so much easier,
It's bad. Well, the thing is that, when my hair's longer, it looks worse. So it's just like somebody took a sand wedge to this side of my.
That's right. That's right. Look at Jism. And the old guests, too. Yeah, I'm glad you're offended, Joe.
It's okay. I don't care if I offend Joe. I mean, there are a few people in this world I may care if I offend. Joe's not one of them.
I'm going to say there's very few that I care about offending. I actually don't think there's anyone, to be honest. Even my own mother, I've offended her. Don't know how many times.
Your mother that thinks we look like twins.
Yeah. Oh, wow, you look alike. Like, what? You want to borrow these? What?
Apparently your mom's got cataracts or something, or she just forgot how ugly you are.
Well, that's it. I mean, my mum is only 19 years older than me.
So our mom's about the same age, but you're like 44.
I'm 44, and you're 36, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mom turned 60 next month.
So my mom is 63.
Interesting.
My dad is 64.
We're going to start talking about tech here in a minute. Don't worry. So let's go ahead and segue. So you got the OnePlus 8T in, and I saw earlier because T-Mobile apparently was not kind to you, so you switched over to Verizon, and it's got to be pretty bad for somebody to leave T-Mobile to go to Verizon. I'll say that for one.
Yeah.
So there's that. But yeah, so you're on Verizon now, and you've got the OnePlus 8T.
But this is on Sprint. This is my company phone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. You were telling me about that.
Yeah, my Verizon phone is my Ultra. What a nice case this is. Some really charming guy sent this to me. It's really nice. Yeah.
It's a good thing that your wife doesn't get mad that strange men are sending you gifts.
I think she's quite happy about it. It says her doing it, So, but yes, this OnePlus 8T. Not had it long, obviously.
I don't know what's going on, but your focus keeps going on and off. It may be
now. I keep seeing it. Let's see if I can change the mode on my camera.
Thank goodness you're not wearing a low-cut top right now. Nobody wants to see that.
Don't talk about low-cut tops to me. Yeah, that might be better. I'm also zoomed in a bit more. There you go. Put it on movie mode instead of auto. Now the frame rate's crap, though. Notice that. It's like one or the other. But the OnePlus 8T, I've not had this for long. The first thing that wowed me about this phone... Go away, fool. Stop it. My camera's got... Anyway, whatever. My camera's doing something up there that it shouldn't be. 65-watt charging. If you have not experienced 65-watt charging, it is insane. I didn't think I'd ever had my mind blown by charging speeds before. I literally, earlier, on this, in the space of 10 or 15 minutes, it went from 62 to 91. It may have even been quicker than that. It's like, oh my days. And I will also say, if this had the camera of the Pixel, this would be, hands down, the phone to buy. Best phone you could buy, without a doubt.
Well, you know how much I liked the OnePlus 8 earlier this year. Like, I really enjoyed that phone. Sleek, form factor. I love the screen on it. I love the responsiveness. I love the Oxygen OS, or they're calling it Hydrogen, or whatever in the world they're calling it now since they changed it. Again. But fantastic phone, but it still suffers from all the problems that the previous OnePlus phones suffer from, which is that the camera quality is just inferior, which, of course, you can augment and kind of work your way around with Gcam, which I don't do. But I know that it's capable of producing some really good pictures, especially if you switch over to Gcam. So
the problem is with the 8T, and I was speaking to my friend Dave West before. When the 8T first came out, huh?
He's not my friend too?
No, he's my friend.
Okay.
You're just an acquaintance.
No, right. My bad. Continue talking about your friend Dave West.
Don't be moving in on my friend. Anyway, so I was speaking to him before, and he agreed with me. When the OnePlus 8T first come out, it was taking not great pictures, but decent pictures, very easily usable. They've just released an update, and mine must have updated today while it was sat there setting up. And they have balked the camera. It focus hunts like the S20 Ultra used to, and the color science is all off. Very strange. So I'm expecting another update to come out, because whatever they've done, they have really made a mess of the camera on it. It's like really hardly usable. So
that's unfortunate. If I didn't have so many phones right now, I've been really tempted to get another OnePlus 8 just because I enjoyed it so much. But the thing is, at this point, if I were to make content for it, one, nobody would watch it.
That's it. If you're going to get it, you've got to get it to use as your personal phone. I got this because it's a work phone.
And the thing
The one
is,
that'll be in my pocket more.
I don't really have room for extra phones right now to try and use a different one for a personal phone. And I've got I've got the iPhone 12 here. I've got the Pixel 5. I got the freaking Note 20. I got the Fold 2. I mean, I can keep going. There's more here on the table. I do not have room or time for the OnePlus 8 as much as I would really like it. I'll probably pick one up next year when I can get one on sale for like $399.
Yeah, more than likely. That'd be the best bet. I'd go with a T though over the regular 8.
Is it the same form factor? Because I really love that thin form factor.
It's extremely thin, like very.
Dude, you don't even know, Martin. Like in the other room, like next to my bed, like any given night, I have 2 tablets and like 6 phones in there because I'm continually testing these things out. I spent all last week testing out the new TCL 10 5G UW.
The camera on that thing is great compared to the 7T.
Dude, I was really impressed. I mean, not even was. I mean, I am really impressed. This is a good phone. And I was confused at first because I thought the UW was just like an additional moniker because it supported 5G on the Verizon network, but it is a slightly different phone than the one I saw at CES. The normal 10 5G actually has 4 cameras, and it has 64 megapixel instead of 48. So the fact that this one has a 48 and it only has the 3 and it has the 5 megapixel macro lens camera, it's really impressive. And then I like this fractal design on here. It's got a glass back on it. It feels like a really premium phone. And then whenever Brad sent this to me, hold on.
Rona.
No, I choked on something a minute ago. So,
oh, I bet.
Yeah, my watermelon soda got me.
Sure.
Whenever he sent it out to me, and then I was looking through the specs and the updated stuff, and I saw I lost my train of thought. Oh, the Snapdragon 765 and at $399. I was like, how is this even possible? Like the best thing that comes in that price range with the Snapdragon 765 is the Pixel 4a 5G, and that's still $499. So with what this brings to the table, it is a seriously competitive phone. Especially for Verizon, because Verizon customers don't usually get options like these.
No, $399. That phone is an easy sale. If someone knows what they're doing, all right. I just wish they'd have put the screen off the Pro in it, or made a version. $499 with the screen from the Pro.
I even felt like the screen on the 10L was slightly better in some areas.
The viewing angles on this one are kind of shifts color quite a bit, I find. And I mean, it's okay if you're looking on it dead on, but and obviously it's LCD, so the blacks aren't going to be really deep black. But no offense when I say this, the blacks on that phone look like your shirt, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean it's just because it's the quality of the LCD.
That's it. So not like crap or anything. I'm just saying it's not black. It's like a gray black.
It would have been fine had I not already tested out the 10 Pro and the 10L, and they had superior quality displays. And see, TCL is known for their displays. That's one of the things that they're really trying to bring to the table with this.
I know, and then they go with that's the loser of the phone for me. That whole thing, that screen is the downfall of the phone.
And I said that on my review video that I released, that the screen is just not bright enough either. It's only like 450 nits brightness.
Full whack. I mean, I was in the sun with it today, and it was like, no.
Yeah, I said that in my video. Like, if you go outside, it's just you can hardly see the screen. It reminds me of like the Pixel 2 or the Pixel 3.
Yeah, Pixel 2. That's exactly what it reminds me of, but not obviously OLED. And I'm just going to break your heart here, Lionsman. You paid $349 for the Moto Edge. Other than the screen on the Moto Edge, the TCL is a far better phone.
Well, I will say though that Motorola Edge still has a Snapdragon 765G in it, and you're not going to get bad performance. It's going to be a good performing phone.
The problem is with the 5G, they're having screen issues. It's quite common. I don't know whether you've seen that, and I found it to be unresponsive. The Moto Edge for me was a phone trying to be something that it wasn't, and it felt like it as well, if you know what I mean. It felt like it was trying to be a flagship, but it felt like a budget phone. If that makes sense.
No, I mean, that makes sense. And I've seen phones like that before. And that's one of my criticisms whenever I talk about the TCL 10 5G UW, or I talk about the TCL 10 Pro, or I talk about the Pixel 4a or the Pixel 5. The Pixel 5 feels like a completely normal premium flagship phone to me, even though it's mid-tier. But then you look at like the TCL 10 5G UW, and it doesn't really feel like it's a budget phone, other than the screen doesn't look that great. But the rest of the phone itself is really good. But then, like the Motorola Edge, you can see where it's like they try really hard to make it look like a premium phone, but it still falls a little short. And you can tell that the experience with some of the things that they do with them.
Oh, without that, even just in use for that, I should have sent it to you before I sold it. But if I said the phone literally felt soft, I don't know whether that makes sense.
Does that have a plastic back?
Yep, and it is. I know plastic scratches easy anyway, but that one just scratched going in and out of my jeans. It just, everything just felt soft on the phone. The screen didn't seem hard. It didn't seem like a hard screen at all. It sounds stupid, but I felt like it felt like the Fold 2 screen.
Or like an iPad screen, like the original iPad. It feels when you press in on it, you can feel the give.
Yeah, and that's just kind of the feel. I felt like if I was too heavy-handed with these burger paws, I'd break it.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate, especially at the price point, because
now it's $699. That thing.
Yeah, see, when they came out originally, they're like offering it at $499. I think that's okay.
Decent deal.
Yeah, at $699, no way. Absolutely no way would I pay that.
The camera on it is shocking. I mean, worse than the 8T. It's far worse than the 8T. The camera on that thing is terrible. I don't know whether you remember, I put Gcam on it. And the difference with Gcam is stark. It's like night and day.
What is the aspect ratio? Is it 20 by 5 by 9?
I thought it was 21 by 9.
Maybe it's 21 by 9.
I can't remember. I mean, I got rid of it a while ago.
Let me look. It is a little narrow. I do like some of the more narrow ones. I think 19 by 5 by 9 is probably the sweet spot for me.
RTC Tech, because I'd ate before I got here. All right. I was saying I didn't have any problems setting up tonight because I bought a MacBook again and everything just works on a MacBook. So I had time to do all kinds. I had a shave. You name it, I did it. And we're still sat here in somebody else's show.
He even did his bikini wax.
That's right. Brazilian. You want to see it?
Here, they have the Motorola Edge is a 19 by 5 by 9. So apparently, Lions Man just doesn't appreciate nice aspect ratios on phone. Oh no, yeah, the Edge Plus is 21 by 9.
Right. Now, that one thing I will say is the Edge 5G has me more intrigued for the Edge Plus, especially now I'm on Verizon.
I heard so many good things about it. Like
$600 on Black Friday, I'll buy one.
I really wanted the Edge Plus. Like I emailed Motorola like 5 times trying to get them to send me one, and I was so close to pulling the trigger on one, but it only works on Verizon. Of course, you know I don't have Verizon service. I was not going to go pick up a Verizon phone plan to review a phone that was going to get 800 views. Like it looks like a beautiful phone. It looks like it's well made. Motorola generally makes good phones, especially their flagship. So I wanted to try it out, but I wasn't going to change over to Verizon to do that, especially at the price point. So I hate that. You know, there's some phones that come out that are just beyond my reach, and I don't get to play with them because genuinely I do enjoy playing with all these different phones. I mean, you and I both, the new stuff, it's like, oh, I like this one. I like this. It's an addiction, but at the same time, I like what they bring to the table with some of these companies, and I can't always try them out.
I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, I don't go to strip clubs. So, yes,
phones.
It's my thing. So,
yeah. And that's, you know, how my wife is. She's like, you know what, I know where you're at night. You're not off running around in the streets. You're not getting drunk. You're not beating the children. I mean, mostly. You're not doing all these things. But, yeah, it's fine as long as you can afford it. It's whatever. But, yeah, there's just some that, unfortunately, they just don't line up, and I can't test them out. And I think that's the one that I really wanted to try out this year was the Edge Plus.
I'm in a fortunate position right now because obviously working with Sprint, which can work on the T-Mobile lines as well. And then, I'm also fortunate with Verizon. There's a big reason we went with Verizon, and that's because my wife, as you know, works at Best Buy. We got a 25% discount on all lines.
That's good.
Yeah. So it cost me less for the iPhone 12, the Note 20 Ultra, sorry, the iPhone 12 Pro, the Note 20 Ultra, the iPad Pro 12.9, all three are on unlimited, and it cost me less than nearly $100 less than if I stayed with T-Mobile. So,
that's pretty impressive. That's very unusual that that you would be able to save that much switching to Verizon. Because I looked at Verizon, I'm like, oh boy, it's going to cost me more money.
Oh yeah, and normally it would, but now if you know somebody at Best Buy who works on the mobile station, they get 50% off.
Oh wow,
57% if you go AT&T.
Maybe what I need to do is whenever my contract expires with my job, go get a seasonal job at Best Buy working in the mobile
4
department.
hours a month. Yeah, 4 hours a month. That's all she does. She works in Geek Squad 4 hours a month. Done.
That's what I need to do.
It's worth doing because then you get all the discounts at Best Buy. You've seen the discounts that we can get.
Oh so yeah, my life is completely boring. My wife has no concerns.
Yeah.
She's like, "What are you doing, honey?" Well, I'm playing Among Us again, or I'm reviewing this phone. I mean, she used to get mad that I had phones all over the place whenever like YouTube wasn't slightly profitable, and now that I could actually consider doing it as like, if I lose my job, just invest myself in doing that full time. She's like, "It's okay, honey, don't worry about it."
Yeah, my wife's like that. Obviously, my YouTube isn't profitable, but she just doesn't mind because, like I said to you, she knows where I am. She knows what I'm doing. I'm either on the Xbox, I'm on my phone, I'm playing with the boy.
Well, you can see that I'm not wasting my money on fine clothes or anything.
I mean, look, this is my Maya t-shirt. This was from Maya, and it was on clearance at the end of summer for $4.
I got this on clearance for like $10 like 3 years ago, which is why it doesn't look black anymore.
Yeah, I'm not like that anymore. I'm one of those guys. I've got older, and it's since I hit 40 that I'll wait until the end of the season to buy my clothes. I don't care.
Yeah, I go every once in a while. Like I went to the Nike outlet the other day, and they had some new Nike shirts. If you saw my video, they were $10 a piece. So I'm like, I bought like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, that's super cheap.
Yeah, so no problem at all. Yeah. So the other things, I saw that you picked up the iPhone 11 Pro Wish model for your wife.
She really likes it. I swear, it looks like the tackiest It looks like the tackiest piece of poop I have seen. Okay?
I had mixed feelings about it. Whenever they first announced it, it looks so nice in that little video presentation they did. Like it looked like a gold brick. And then I saw it.
Pretty how they done it on the presentation. Definitely.
It looked like liquid, like a gold brick from Fort Knox. Like I saw it, and I'm like,
now
wow.
When you've got it in hand, it looks like the frame around it isn't surgical stainless steel. It looks like a piece of plastic that's been wrapped in yellow gold foil.
It does, yes. And I went and I saw it in person at Best Buy the other day. And I'm like, this looks like crap. I can't do this. The back does not look that gold.
Yeah, well, the back's beige like the old OnePlus 8 was. The rose thing, it's that beigey colored. But then they put that horrible yellow gold around the rings for the camera lenses. It just looks tacky. Yeah,
I don't like it.
No, it's just not an iPhone for me. That just looks cheap. The iPhone 12, regular iPhone 12, and even though that's in some really shocking colors, they look crap too. It still looks better than the gold.
So, I mean, I guess I can show this. I've got the iPhone 12.
It's like nail polish.
Yeah. And I got to say, though, like I had seen some pictures on this before I got mine. I'm like, that basically looks like that dark blue crayon that you get in the box that you like never use.
Yeah.
And it looks a little bit better in real life. But I actually don't mind the color on this, but it blends in.
It's probably the best one out of them all.
This brushed like aluminum look that it has around
the iPhone. Let me go and grab it off. A linesman's asking to see the iPhone. Let me see if my wife might be using it doing a nail video. But give me a minute. I'll go and see if she got it.
Yeah, but with the aluminum on the sides here, it looks really nice. It's a nice contrast that you get here between the actual color of the phone. But hopefully y'all guys can see this if this is something that you're interested in, or you just wanted to get your eyes on it. And then of course you can see the glass over here is slightly different as well. And then I've been using the Apple silicone case that I picked up the other day, and I really like this case on here because of course they color coordinate them, but it matches really well, and it gives it like a navy blue appearance. It's still slightly different, but it blends in well. So I do like it though. I like the flat sides. I like the way that it looks. I did make a tweet earlier where I was talking about it, and I'm like, you know what? I've been enjoying using it because I don't use iPhones very often. And then the one that I was using, I was using the iPhone 8 Plus and the SE earlier this year. There you go. It looks almost like almond. It looks like the almond.
It is. It's more of an almond color. But look at them rings around the. Why would they do that? That just looks like.
It makes it stand out. It looks like almost like some steampunk garbage, like Final Fantasy garbage. Or it looks like those little diopters that you see on, like, if you go to the eye doctor.
Yeah, it just looks terrible. And this gold band, with it being shiny, hold on a minute. With it being a shiny gold band, it just looks like foil. It doesn't look classy at all.
It looks cheap.
Yeah, the whole thing does. I mean, I'm going to tell you, hey, that's the top of the line iPhone this year. I'm going to look at you and say, it's not even an iPhone, dude. It's probably running Android, and you got it from China.
Yeah, so whenever I'm going to order the iPhone 11 Pro Max when it comes out, and I'm definitely going to get the Pacific Blue, or I'm going to get the Graphite.
I mean, which one looks better? There's no doubt about it for me.
Yeah, especially it stands out more too. Like that, it just looks bland. Like,
I mean,
you know what it looks like? It looks like a beige color swath, like little. Yeah. Like you go to like Home Depot and get those little color sample things. That's what it looks like.
Yep, it's just a terrible. And then because they've gone with, instead of the aluminum sides, they've gone with the brushed steel. Let me see if we can get this in focus. So you see this here? Where is it? This here? See that? Oh, bloody hell. Hold on. Come on, camera. Right. See the 5G antenna?
Yeah.
It's matte. So it doesn't even match the rest of the frame. So why not make it matte? So it blends in.
I thought about this, Ed, because yes, you know that I have the white and gold Q10. I love the white and gold Q10. Does it look slightly similar? Yes, actually the bezels do look similar. But whenever you have like a plastic and rubberized phone, and then it's also white, like that stark, like flat white color, as opposed to this fake gold almond color, it looks a lot better. Like the white and gold Q10, for when it was made and what kind of phone it is, to me it looks more premium and eye-catching. And this just looks dull and cheap.
You know what this looks like? It looks like I had a white iPhone and I've been smoking on it. That's what it looks like. It looks like it's got nicotine stained. Like the old plastic Game Boys and things that go yellow.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that, like it's in the early stages of aging. All right, let me give this back to the wife. We'll be back in a second.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. But see, the weird thing is the colors this year, they're so subtle and they change so much depending on light. Like I've seen some of them, and then you see like the Pacific Blue, and somebody takes a picture of it with certain lighting and it looks blue. And then someone takes a picture with it with another lighting and it looks gray. And then you take another picture with it and it looks like off-white with like a bluish tinge. So, yes. Or like the bowling alley. You know, like the ceiling tiles in the bowling alley? That's what it looks like. They ought to call it the iPhone 11 Secondhand Smoke Edition. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, it's just bad. Or like if you go into like if you've gone into like a mobile or manufactured home, have like the plastic siding on the inside of like the bathroom that has that texture to it.
And let me tell you another thing about the iPhone 12. I don't know whether I do know yours is the same because you've shown it. The camera on it is not as good as the iPhone 11 Pro. It just is.
I am not impressed with the camera.
Yeah.
For natural scenery and certain things, looks good. If it
Put it on
involves a human being,
yeah. They get the Donald Trump 10. They all look orange or jaundice or something like that. You know, your wife's hair on them pictures was like,
yeah, that picture, and then I put it specifically next to the Pixel 5 so people could see it, and like the Pixel 5 looks true to life, and that iPhone picture, she looks like a completely different person.
yeah, it's just not right. The camera is. I meant a day on that. I'm sure it's not meant to be that way.
Yeah, like had my wife had that picture on the dating app when I met her, I would have swiped left.
You'd have been like, yeah, I'd rather be with a KFC chick. Pixel have got a problem, though. Google have got a problem. Like Linesman saying there, Pixel killed it. Pixel did kill it, but Pixel are still using an IMX 386.
They did not improve that much.
It's not improved at all. It's the exact same camera that was in the Pixel 2. And the problem now is it's stayed the same year after year. All right, they brought in dark mode portraits this year. And obviously
stuff. It's not like it's this fancy new cutting edge
sensor. Right. That's right. Everybody's caught up to them now, though. Or a lot. They're so. I dare say we don't get them over here, so you don't get to see them. But when I speak to Alex and that, who have the P40s, the Huawei P40s and things like that, I'm going to say that's a better all-round camera.
Well, and that's what I said when I can't remember what video it was doing. I did a video the other day, and I was saying that last year, the iPhone and Samsung caught up with the camera on the Pixel. Like the Pixel 3 was ahead of everyone. The camera on the Pixel 2 was ahead of everyone. And then when it came to the Pixel 4, it felt like they slacked off and everybody else caught up. Yeah. And now it feels like largely a lot of different phone companies are getting close to being on par or on the same level.
This is the 5th phone they have released with the very same camera module. You have the 2, the 3, the 3A, the 4A, and now the 5. All share the same camera.
And I get what they're trying to do here. They're like, look, it's still really good. We're giving you value. We're not charging you $1,000.
Fix it, but
yeah. But see, the thing is, though, people that want the phone are going to buy it. It's still going to take really good pictures. They're not going to convince anybody else to move over if they upgrade the camera in it because people still don't want to pay for a Pixel. And if they put a new sensor in there and had to charge more money for it, people really wouldn't want to buy it. So I think what it brings to the table at that $699 price point, I mean, I think is worth the price for somebody who wants the phone. Like if somebody wants to buy it, they'll buy it at that price. I still don't think it's convincing a lot of people to move over, which is the big issue that they have.
Yeah, for me, I think the way Samsung are improving, if they release the same thing next year, Samsung are really close right now. They're not the best in video. iPhone is the best in video, but they've closed the gap. The Galaxy line is now really good at video, better than the Pixel, and the photographs are not as good as Pixel, but they've closed it so close now. I really do think next year, if Pixel don't change, then it's a good camera. But
the other issue too could have had something to do with like the supply chain issues, inventory on hand, things like that with what's going on this year. Like it may have just been too hard to try and get a new sensor in there. So, I mean, maybe that's one reason.
Yeah, I don't see that. The only reason I'm saying that is look at how many phones have come out with better sensors. The 586, the 586, the 686, is there a 786? I can't remember, but there's
a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot better sensors out there.
And here's the thing. The Pixel 6 is the Pixel 4 XL in many ways is a better buy, but they've discontinued it. So, I mean, if you can find one somewhere, yes, but I'm not going to recommend people go out and scour the internet to buy a renewed model or
let's not forget the Pixel 4 XL 64 gig started at $850.
Yeah, and that's a big. Yeah, I mean the Pixel 4X, the Pixel 4 series has problems of its own, and I think that by and large the Pixel 4a 5G is a better phone for most people as well. The Pixel 5 is for people who like the flagship series Pixels and want to continue to have the best Pixel available. The Pixel 4a and the 4a 5G are the ones that are designed to catch people in that lower price point who are not buying an iPhone, who are not buying a Samsung, who want a really good phone that are willing to take a chance on it. I mean, those lower ones, and like they did with the Pixel 3a and the 3a XL, those were the best-selling phones that they had last year. So that lower series, people recognize that, and then when they walk into Best Buy and see that at the price point and what it brings to the table, those are the phones that they make the money on and get people to move over. They're not convincing new people really to pick up a Pixel 5.
Quick fix, Austin. I will take a selfie for you right now, and I've got decent lighting, and this is the OnePlus 8T Pro selfie camera portrait mode. Here we go. It's okay. And that's about it. Doesn't have a whole lot of blur. It's just okay. The colors on it are all
I think it's video portrait.
Huh?
Video portrait.
Video portrait? Is that what it's? Oh, it doesn't have video
portrait mode during video.
It doesn't have portrait mode during video. That's the Pro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, only the Pro does that. But your Note 20 Ultra does it. And it does it really well, actually. I was surprised how good that was. I could literally sit here and do a video with video portrait mode on the Note 20 Ultra, and it'd look fine. I bet people wouldn't really know.
The Note 20 video quality is fantastic. It's so good. I love it. Question here from Ed. How do you like the TicWatch? So I've been using this for a day now. There are things that I like about it. I think that it's worth the $299 price point. You know what this watch is? This watch is identical to that T-Rex watch that I gave you, except they changed the housing and it has a better overlay. That's all it is.
It runs smoother, screen's better as well, and the battery life seems to just go on for days.
Yeah, well, that T-Rex watch by
Amazfit.
Yeah, Amazfit. Yeah, it's a really good watch, but it's the same stinking watch.
Yes.
And you can see that when you're going through the options, when you're doing things, you're working with it. This one, though, they made notifications a lot simpler. They made the app a lot simpler. They made it looks better. It feels less cheap. It feels more premium.
Skin on it, really good. They've done a real good job of skinning Wear OS, I think.
I still feel a little bit like some of the features are a little on the lacking side, like the heart rate sensor. One, you need to make sure that the band is really secure. It needs to be really secure against your hand. I was laying in bed last night, and I don't have mine like the tightest. I mean, I
agree. I have no problem because I wear mine like.
Yeah, see, mine has a little bit in it. I don't like my watch is super tight. But see, one of the things that you get whenever your watch is like this, I was holding my phone up, playing on it, and then I have it on the continuous heart rate monitoring. And then I looked over at my watch real quick, and it's like, why is my heart rate at 112 while I'm laying in bed? This is not good. So then I double checked, my pulse. I'm like, nope, it's like 55. So it can, if it's not secure enough, it gives you a false readout. It doesn't say it can't read it. It just tries anyway, and then it gives you a incorrect readout. So I was like, why in the world is my heart rate like 110? Because it did it again later. And it's enough to, it'd give you some concern if you look over and you saw that. But
we know I have issues, and it's nailed mine every time because my resting heart rate at the moment's in the mid 80s, which isn't good. And it 87, 84, 86. It's hit it every time. So I want to touch on something Luca just said there, and it's a pet peeve of mine. And I'm not saying you're wrong. Well, no, I am going to say you're wrong. But because you're using the term flagship in the wrong sense. People associate flagship with the very best bleeding edge specs. That isn't what a flagship is. Flagship is the best that company offer for that time. So the Pixel 5 is a flagship phone. It's just not as good as the previous year's flagship. So
and it's not necessarily the same as Samsung or Apple's flagship. Every company has their own flagship phone. Flagship is not a universal standard. Flagship is just the best phone that the company makes that year.
It's their top of the pops.
Yeah, it's their best one. So the Pixel 5 is a flagship phone. I just don't call it a premium flagship phone because it's not on the same level as the other ones, obviously. I mean, it's not in the same playground.
But how it happened, but the lines got blurred between specs and flagship, and people seem to that you or me?
Yeah, sorry, my thing popped up.
People blurred the lines between it and think it's one in the same, and sadly it's not. And that's another problem that the Pixel's got. People are saying, well, it's not a flagship. It's overpriced. It's not a flagship. But it is a flagship because it's the best Pixel 5 you can get. It's their flagship model for the year. So, pet peeve. Sorry, I can't help myself. I get a few moments like that.
Yeah.
No, it's not a mid-range flagship. It's a flagship for Google. Google will sell the highest phone you can buy this year from Google is the Pixel 5. That is their flagship model. It's a flagship phone.
There's no asterisks with it. It's a flagship. It's just a flagship running mid-range specs. It's not a mid-range flagship phone.
Yeah, it's just it's Google's flagship.
Yeah,
they decided to go with a 765, which I do not blame them because
nobody was going to buy it. If they tried to sell another $900 phone this year, nobody was going to buy it.
Plus, I don't care who you are. If I give you a phone and you're going to open Twitter, Facebook, do some web browsing, maybe play a bit of Call of Duty Mobile, listen to some tunes, watch some movies. If I said to you, hey, it's got an 865 in it, you wouldn't know any different.
And that's what I keep trying to tell people.
The people don't seem to understand that. I don't get it. The Velvet was the same. You would not. You put that next to the V60. The Velvet had a 765. The V60 has an 865, and the Velvet performs just as well as the 865. It's just
still the same, and you get better battery life out of it because of the lower power wattage consumption.
Battery, it's one of the best phones you can get for battery life this year. For me, Google this year, I've looked at it and thought, well, what do people want the most? They want their phones to have a good display, they want their phones to have a good battery, and they want their phones to have a good camera.
And if you want some of those more premium features like wireless charging, reverse wireless charging, 8 gigabytes of RAM, faster refresh screen, I am very glad that they did that. If they didn't put the 90 hertz refresh rate in the Pixel 5, I would have been disappointed.
May as well have not made it and just
stuck. That's the thing, though. People talk about how amazing the iPhone is, and like, okay, let's break it down to brass.
It's not a flagship price, bro. This is a flagship price right here at $1,299. That's flagship price. That thing there is what, $500 cheaper, $600 cheaper than this. So it's not. You can't say that about it. You show me a flagship phone right now that's got everything top of the range for $699, and don't say the FE from Samsung because it's got a plastic back, it's got really downgraded cameras, and the screen is not the same high quality screen as they use in the others. It just
people just have such a hard time wrapping their heads around this. Like, look, there's a difference between Ford and Lincoln. Okay, they're definitely really good cars, but they're not the same. So if you can get a Ford F-150 and that's the best truck that they make, and then you compare that to like the Lincoln, you're just getting the extra shiny features. That's all you're getting. It's if you look
at Chevy, it's the same thing. Your GMC version of a Silverado is going to have much nicer stuff than the Chevy version,
and it may even have the same engine in some instances, or it has a lot of the same things. They run the same. It's just that one of them has some of the fancier bells and whistles on it.
That's very nice, Luca, but you can't buy the Mi 10 Pro here. You just can't. So I can't compare it to a Mi 10 Pro because the average consumer can't walk into the store and buy one.
Yeah, and the Mi 10 Pro,
go to a neighbor's door and say, "Hey, do you want to buy me a Xiaomi Mi 10 T or whatever they're called?" They'd look at you and think you were ordering from a Chinese menu. You'd be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, and people say the same thing about the OnePlus Nord and all these other phones. Look, if they were to launch those in the US, they would charge more money.
Exactly. Everyone going on, yeah, but the OnePlus Nord is only $399. No, it was 399 British pounds. I guarantee you it'd come out over here and it'd be the same price as the 4A 5G. It'd be $499. There's just no doubt about it. Now,
yeah, sorry.
Maybe worldwide, but I've also talked to where I am immediately of what's available. I can't buy a Nord, so I couldn't tell you. I can't go in my store and buy a Nord and say, this is a better phone than this. Go into Best Buy and buy it. No, I have to compare it to what people can. My neighbor comes up to me and says, "What phone should I buy, Dan?" I'm not going to say to him, well, go on Amazon and look for the OnePlus whatever Nord and make sure you get the right one, otherwise, blah, blah. He wouldn't have a clue what I was talking about. He wants to walk into Best Buy or into Verizon or what other store and, oh, I'll grab the OnePlus 8T. Oh, I'll grab this. It's just
it's like this Xiaomi Poco X3 NFC. Solid phone for $300, but if somebody were to pick that up and order it and not get the right version, they may not even get service in their area. I mean, it's just, we're talking about phones that are designed for a completely different market based on a different currency with different restrictions and different things that they charge for them. If they were to import it and to sell it directly and market it on a carrier or on a U.S. network over here, it would be more money.
A lot more. Because they've got to go through the FCC. That costs money. They've got to
network certifications.
There's a ton of stuff that goes into selling a phone in the United States. And I know what you're saying there. Well, you've got to think of the rest of the world and everything. That's great. But the rest of the world has access to these devices. And 96% of my viewership on YouTube is
here.
The United States. So I have to cater to the United States. Just because a phone's got an 865 in it does not mean it's a flagship phone. I had the Poco F2 Pro or whatever it was called. That had an 865 in it. And it was not a patch on the Pixel. Just not. It just wasn't. Overall experience was nowhere near as good as the Pixel 5. It just wasn't. But that had an 865 in it. So that means that's a flagship? No, it doesn't.
Depending on who you ask, some people say that it doesn't even matter with the processor, like MKBHD with the V60, saying that because the V60 had a 1080p screen, that it was a mid-tier phone. But then the Note 20 is not a mid-tier phone.
That's right. You pay $1,200 for an S20 Plus Exynos, but that's not the reality for many. Well, it's the reality for a hell of a lot of people. I know at least 60 million people in the UK can only get the Exynos unless they import the Snapdragon. Where else in the world? Is it Australia? There are also plenty of people there. I know that, the Exynos isn't quite as widely out as the Snapdragon, but a lot of people still have it.
Yeah, hundreds of millions of people, that's the reality.
So,
And people in those markets can review those phones.
Exactly. I will never review an S-line Exynos unless they bring one out over here. Because nobody cares over here. That's the problem. I do cater to everybody, but at the same time, I cater to my core audience. And I found that my core audience don't give a crap about the Redmi Note 9S, which was a fantastic phone at $228.
Oh, yeah. I covered
about it. They have no idea what it is. They don't care. It just doesn't exist. So I had 400 views on it up to now.
I covered the Redmi Note 8 last year, and I think I got, to this day, still has 180 views on it. Or like my Xiaomi Mi 9T that got a whopping 400 views over the course of 13 months.
No one knows about them. No one cares.
Well, here's the other thing. People in those markets looking at those phones probably don't even speak English as a primary language. They're not watching my channel.
That's the thing. Now, you go and watch some of these big guys in India.
Yeah, Redmi is huge.
Thousands and thousands of views because that's where it's marketed. And that's where he and the YouTube algorithm pushes him to where he lives. He's big with his fan base.
And that's why we don't get these devices. I've tried working with Xiaomi. I've tried working with Huawei. And Huawei can't even send anything into the U.S. They can't send stuff here, period. So there's a lot of these manufacturers, if you wonder why we don't necessarily cover them, Xiaomi sent me their Poco NFC because they're trying to push that globally. But if they've got some that are region specific, like the Mi 10T Pro or the Mi 10T or some of these other phones, they won't even send me one of those, even though I'm kind of working with them now because it's not targeted for this market. They're not going to get sales over here. So it doesn't matter if I get 50,000 views on it. Maybe 4 people might import one.
And even if it did come to this market, it would not be the same price as what you pay everywhere else.
No.
Guarantee it.
And then they have issues because with that Poco X3 NFC, there's very few LTE bands that I'm getting on it. There's very few 4G bands that I'm getting on it. So you're not going to get 5G. You're not going to get a lot of this stuff. So you have to look at what you can walk into a carrier or Best Buy or just generally is marketed in the area. I mean, there are some really good phones that come out, and I say this to a lot of people. Xiaomi is pretty much at the cutting edge of technology when it comes to putting the best features in their phones first.
It's fantastic for people like us who are really interested in that. You go and ask Bob, who's just bought an iPhone 12, not a Pro, but just a regular iPhone 12, and tell him to tell you what the difference is from the iPhone 11 and what he's missing out from the iPhone 12 Pro. Bob won't have an idea. Bob's just got an iPhone 12. He doesn't
Bob can't tell you
what it is.
Bob can't tell you the difference between the iPhone XS and the iPhone 12.
Exactly, and that's the thing.
But here's the other thing, too. People are conscientious about their money, as they should be. If I were a door-to-door salesman and I walked up to somebody's front door and said, hey, I know you've got that iPhone that you paid $699 for, but this phone right here does all of this stuff, and it has all of these things that your iPhone doesn't have, and I'll sell it to you for $499. They'll still, because of this no-name brand, they don't know.
iMessage? Does it have FaceTime? No, I'm not interested.
They'll think you're selling them something that's cheap garbage.
Yeah, it's not an iPhone. No. It's got iMessage, and I have to have FaceTime, even though I never use it. I just have to have it because the TVs told me that's what I should have.
Yeah,
because
a lot of people that go to iPhones, like, and a lot of people that watch my show or watch Dan's show or watch what we do here together, they're probably like, a lot of you guys that are in the chat right now are very tech savvy people that know about this stuff. Like if I made a regular video and I'm like, you know what, if I could make a video called the iPhone 12 killer or buy this phone instead of the iPhone 12 and make a video about the Xiaomi Mi 10T Pro, which is several $100s cheaper and is a fantastic, beautiful phone, nobody would watch it because nobody would know. They're like, what is this? What is this? I've never even heard of this before. Nobody would watch it.
It's like a packet of ramen noodles next to a steak. Yeah,
they're like, what is Xiaomi?
Mm-hmm.
And it could be better in every way, and the audience would look at it and say, "This is cheap Chinese garbage. I'm not buying this."
And all this came from the term flagship.
Huh?
At the end of the day, it all came from the term flagship. This is how all this started. And at the end of the day, flagship does not mean the very best of whatever. Blue's new phone, their gaming phone, that is Blue's flagship device.
Bingo.
It's
companies make
$200 phone, right? You know.
Yeah, flagship is not a global standard. It's not. It's just whatever the best product that company made that year. That is it.
Yes. Now you can name flagship phones from every manufacturer and say which one's best, but they're all still flagships.
Well, but the problem that changed all this, I think, was the different phone lines. Because like iPhone, of course, yes, the Pro series is their flagship devices. But like if you get a company like Samsung and you've got an S series, you've got a Note series, they're both kind of flagships because it's basically very much the same phone, but one has a stylus and one doesn't. They're kind of a different line of devices. So it's much harder when you get companies that like to make a lot of the same phones with very similar specs, but it's kind of harder to nail that down, which, I mean, you can't say which one is necessarily, the best because they just have a different skill set.
Mm-hmm. And Luca, the reason for that, and the reason for it is very simple. He has the audience.
Yeah.
His audience
200,000 subscribers.
Massively above ours. Massively. So he is going to, so let's just say I think I cater to about 6% of people in the UK. You'd think I'd have a bigger push in the UK because I'm English, but it doesn't. But 6% of my channel compared to 6% of Floss's is a major difference. Major. And that's why. Their 6%, you could be talking 150,000 eyes on it. My 6% is 500 people. Look at Adam reading his iPhone iMessage.
No, my son has messaged me. He's like, Dad, I've got something that I want for Christmas. He keeps sending me these stupid things for shoes.
No, like, he's even got an alert slider on the side of that phone. People, this is how ignorant Adam is. Doesn't care about you lot. Has to listen to that horrible iMessage tone over and over and make us listen to it with him.
Yeah, that's how inconsiderate I am.
That's right.
So like Dan says with audience, even if I were to get a phone like that it doesn't mean anyone's interested. Like I got an iPhone 12. It got like a few thousand views. I have over 30,000 subscribers. I did my iPhone 10, my iPhone 12 like 3-day review, and I think it has like 4,000 views. Like I can't even guarantee I'm going to get 10% views on any given video. Like I make some videos that my audience doesn't care about.
Mm-hmm.
Even with 30,000 subscribers, it could get 400 views. Like I've got a security camera I put out a video on yesterday, and I think it may be at 180 views in over 24 hours, which is just horrendous. Mm-hmm. When it comes to YouTube, if people don't care about the object that you are creating a video about, if that's not why they're subscribed to you, they won't watch it. Unless you're a personality that they just like to watch all your videos, like maybe an MKBHD, but you look at his videos, they have wide appeal, and they go to the front of the YouTube page because he has millions and millions of subscribers. If my video went to the front page of YouTube, yeah, a lot more people would watch it, but that would be people who are not my subscribers.
And let me also say, 3,000 of the 5,000 of my subscribers probably subscribed to me because I was doing 95% audio at the time. So that's the other thing, you see. Audiences are fickle, and audiences are different for everybody. So
yeah. But yeah, if you have 200,000-300,000 subscribers, it's typically worthwhile for a company to take a chance just to have access to your audience to let you review the product, because you could get 1 million views or you could get 20,000, but still
it's a lot of eyeballs.
That's a lot of people that are going to see it. And that's the thing. If a lot of people are going to see it, they may not even necessarily have to watch the video. It may just pop up and it could pique their curiosity. They're giving you their product so that their product can have access to your audience. Whether your audience watches it or not is beyond your control.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's it, Luca. We both do make, me especially, I've changed recently from trying to be the flashy person to all my videos now are head down, top down, and that's just the way it's staying, because they seem to do just as well as the fancy stuff. I think it's just the fact that they like the way I say, hey, this is crap, like I did with the iPhone. I thought I was going to, don't get me wrong, I've not even got 600 views on that iPhone video. But I thought I was going to get absolutely slaughtered. I was laughing with Adam about it, about the sheep are going to come and get me. And about 3 people have said something nasty, and one of them was Adam. So,
yeah, with my normal,
yeah, that looked gross. So, I don't know.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing too. Hold on, let me see. I'm scared to make non-smartphone. Yeah. And you and I were talking about this the other day, Scott, because you've got that other product you're going to make a video about. It's very unfortunate because if a company sends us a product and we agree to review it, it's frustrating because I could put 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, 7 hours into a product, and then it might only get a couple hundred views. It's not that I owe the company anything, but I feel bad, and it just kind of sucked because, one, it hurts your algorithm, how you appear in YouTube when your videos don't do well. So you can't make a bunch of videos you know are not going to do well. And then 2, it's unfortunate because you put so much work into it and you want people to see it because you worked really hard on it, and then it doesn't get any views. So it's hard. And there are things that I will review sometimes that I know are not going to perform well just because I have an interest in it. And of course, it's my channel. I don't make videos necessarily to try and lure people in. I make videos because I enjoy the products and reviewing them. So yeah, sometimes
that's what I started to do. The amount of emails I've had this week for headphones from these manufacturers I've never even heard of, $30 earbuds, $40 earbuds, $50 headphones. I've said no because I don't enjoy doing that. I got bored of it, and that's why I moved away from doing that. I did all that to begin with. I was getting so, how can I say this, burnt out with doing videos, saying the same thing over and over and over again because you were being sent the same product over and over and over again, made by the same factory, just had a different name on it. And it's just, no.
Well, whenever you're growing and that's all people will send you, yeah, I mean, you do the legwork and you might get 5 subscribers here. You might get 6 or 7 there. You might get lucky with one of them and it do well. Like I've been reviewing Anchor stuff from the beginning, and it does really well now. Like I reviewed the Soundcore Q30s the other day, and it's at like 6,000 or 7,000 views.
Mm-hmm.
That's good for me for an audio product. And I reviewed a lot of audio stuff too, but same thing. I got burnt out. I'm like, look, I'm tired of reviewing these same earbuds saying the same thing over and over and over again, because that's really what they are.
Yeah.
Now, I still keep audio on my channel because I like the stuff. I genuinely do, but it's like Jabra, Soundcore, maybe Empow. It's like it's companies that I've worked with for a while that I feel are reputable, and I like to work with them, as opposed to like, oh, here, let me just get this random one. But yeah, it could be an $80 pair of earbuds, and I don't know who you are, and nobody's going to watch the video if I make it.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, we'll give you money to do it. I'm like, no. And then, but the funny thing is, you ever ask them? Somebody the other day asked me, like, hey, would you make a sponsored video for us? I'm like, okay, well, sponsored video is not a review, but what's your budget? And they're like, well, we'll give you $100. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm not spending 6 hours of my time reviewing your earbuds, making a video about your earbuds is going to get 60 views for $100. Like, no. But yeah, it's funny. But if you really want to get rid of people, because I get these emails, I get 4, 5, 6 of them a day. Like, you would think that you would run out of these companies by now, but no, there's
never ending.
They're like cockroaches. Like, you squish one and like 6 more of them show up. The fastest way to get rid of them is you just write them back and be like, so give me $500.
Right. Remember the company
Yeah.
Vont? Oh, I've emailed you 12 times so far. Remember that woman?
Oh yeah, did she finally give up?
She moved on, and she gave it to another woman called Penelope Lewis.
Oh, she keeps emailing me. Yes. So
now she's changed her email to, I'd be happy to discuss remove. Oh God, I can't even say it. In basic terms, we'll pay you to make a video.
Yeah. So they said the same thing to me.
Right.
And, I asked them. I said, well, what's your budget? And they're like, we'll give you $100.
Oh, is that them who said that?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, that's them. Yeah, the Vont people.
Yeah.
And I told them, I said 500, and they said, no, please, sir, we're a small company. I'm like, no, I don't care. I'm like, look, if you want me to make a sponsored video for your headset that I would never review, sure, I will talk about it, and you can give me $500. But am I going to review it? No.
I've only ever done one sponsored video, and I'd do it again any day of the week for them guys.
Yeah, and it's the same way. I've done one in my entire history of my career, but
we did the same thing, and that was such a hell of a deal as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
A company that I believe in, and I think it's a good product. I have no problem making a sponsored video, because sponsored video, as long as you disclose everything and you're like, look, this is not a paid for review. This is just, I'm just talking about it. Read off the spec sheet. Look, this is does this, blah blah blah. It's not a review. I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between a sponsored video and an actual review. But if it were something that I were going to review, or a company that I'm doing reviews for, then no, because then it skews things.
Yes.
It has to make sense. Like if these guys, like if Zeiss, I buy their lens wipes all the time, and if they came up to me and said, hey, we'd like to do a sponsored ad on your video, I'd be all about that, because I don't review lens wipes. I don't, and it would make sense. I could plug that into my video. But if like BlackBerry came up and like, we want you to make a sponsored video, I would be like, no, I can't do that, because I review your stuff all the time.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And then people will question my integrity and the objectivity of my views. They'll think I'm a paid-for spokesperson.
Yeah.
You can't do that. So, yeah, if it's a company that I would never work with, like not reviewing stuff for, or wouldn't compromise the position of my channel and the videos I make, then yeah, sure. I mean, it's great to be able to be profitable and do things, because I'm going to be doing this full time starting January 1st. I think I told you earlier, I got a contract extension today, 0 hour. They're like, oh, here, we're going to extend you till December 31st, because
we got nobody else to finish your stuff off.
Yeah. They're like, you're not getting any new cases. You're just going to transfer over, transition out, close out the work you're doing. And I'm like, hey, that's fine. That'll be an easy 60 days. I got a week of leave I need to use. I've got some other leave I need to use. That'll get me through 4 kids' birthdays, Christmas, the holidays, and it's not, hey, your job is ending in a week. So yeah, I'll take the extra money and keep doing my job for the next 60 days. But January 1st, if they offer me another extension, the answer is no. I'm not doing this. I don't
blame you.
I'm just going to do YouTube full time, which is fine. And then when I do start doing YouTube full time, yeah, I'm going to look for sponsorships. I'm going to email these guys like, look, I use your wipes every day. We can work together. This would be beneficial for you. Thousands of people will hear about Zeiss lenses, and it will work well with my videos.
Yep.
But that's how things work when you do this stuff kind of like full time, or you have to try and get sponsorships. If you only rely on ad revenue,
Can I add?
yeah, it could go like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All you need is a bad week, and your video is just to go, and then your ad revenue goes. That's what it is. So I mean, there's a lot of business stuff to YouTube, and also yes, good night, Ed. Thanks for stopping by tonight. Appreciate it. Yeah, YouTube that it's a fickle beast. It's something that's cool if you're trying to make money at it. It's something that can be stressful if you're not trying to make money at it. Like I haven't been trying to make money out of this the last 3 years. It's just yes, ad revenue is nice when you get it. It's just like a nice surprise. When I would get it, I would go buy another phone with it, put it in savings.
And that's the way I am. I mean, I earn under $300 a month out of YouTube, and that's the high end as well. That's high end for me at around 300. Probably average about 175 a month, believe it or not, out of YouTube. I mean, I'm not shy about telling people because people seem to think YouTubers get given all this money and blah blah. And if you've got a couple of thousand subscribers, you get all this. No, it doesn't work that way. What that does for me is lets me go out, like Adam just said, and I'll put my money towards a phone, but then I can put $175 to it, and it's cost me a lot less because of the ad revenue.
Yeah, and see, ad revenue for me has been good. At the beginning of the year, my ad revenue was about where yours was at. It was about $300 or $400 a month because I was pulling in about, I don't know, 160, 180,000 views a month. But since CPM has gone up, more ads and lots of different stuff, actually turning on my ads, because for the first 2.5 years I did YouTube, I didn't have ads turned on. Just because I didn't want people getting ads when they were watching the videos. But then they think and just put Google pushes ads anyway. So whatever, might as well put it on there if your audience wants to watch your videos. They don't typically care, I guess. But yeah, so I'm to the point now where I'm consistently making over probably about $2,000 a month, which is great. But I also am doing this full time. Even though I have a full-time job, I make 5, 6, 7, sometimes 8 videos a week. I mean, I spend 4 or 5 hours a day doing this. It's already basically a full-time job. But I've been also consistently averaging over 500,000, 600,000 views a month. So, and it's not just views, it's also watch time. So if you get good views and you get good watch time, then yeah, you can make more money. But then a lot of it gets reinvested. Like I bought the iPhone 12. I bought that with my ad revenue money. I bought the Note 20. So it's not like, oh, I'm just sitting here getting rich. It's getting reinvested back into the channel.
It. Who do you think bought my Sony a6100 or my Sigma 16mm lens or my iPad Pro or my MacBook or anything else I used to make videos? It wasn't YouTube. So,
no, get it out of my pocket.
Talking of sponsored videos and people offering you money to make videos, this guy here, Armadillo Tech, Texas, he emailed me the other day, right? And he says, hey, I'd like you to do a sponsored video for me. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. He says, yeah, but what you need to do is pay me $75 to make the video. I'm like, what do you mean I've got to pay you? So that guy's a douchebag. He's called Carl. He's really harmless, but he's also a douchebag. Okay? Just thought I'd let you know that.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. All right, I'm kidding.
He's got both.
That's funny. Oh,
he's got both of his channels in here tonight.
Sound cool or messaging me.
That's funny. If you could get a $700, I'm not buying. I wouldn't buy that. I had one already. I liked it. The battery life on it was just terrible for me. Like I was barely getting like 4.5 hours of screen on time with my Pixel 4 XL. I would take the Pixel 5 over the Pixel 4 XL.
Yeah, I also prefer the fingerprint sensor at the back. I also prefer the wide-angle camera, and the screen is better than what's on the Pixel 4 XL.
Yeah, so price isn't everything. Price and value. Just because it has a Snapdragon 855 in it doesn't necessarily mean it's better than the Pixel 5. I would rather have the Pixel 5.
Pixel 5 is a better phone than the 4 XL. It is.
I like it better.
It is. It's an all-round better phone. It feels better. It lasts longer. It's got better camera because it's got the wide angle. Like I say, the screen's better. Even though that last one was a 90 hertz as well, it just didn't do it like the 5 does. The 5 is.
To be honest, it felt kind of cheap, like that plastic body that it had.
What?
Sorry, the Pixel. It felt plastic.
Which one?
The Pixel 4 XL, like it felt cheap.
Really? You think? I thought it just glass back. I don't know. It
Yeah.
didn't bother me that.
I know it has a glass back, but it just looked cheap to me. Like it looked like. I like what they've done now with this different design that they have on there because, like, it just looked cheap. Like it didn't look like a $900 phone.
What I want to know is where is the white Pixel 4a 5G?
Exactly.
It's a thing because even Google's shown it in the presentation, but it's just not available anywhere.
I don't know what people keep getting wrapped around the axle, and we're not picking on you, Luca, by any stretch of the imagination. But people have been complaining about the speakers on the Pixel 5. And I think they're fine.
Yeah,
like I use it all the time, and I've said this: are they $1,000 speakers? No, they're not. But for a $699 phone, they're perfectly fine.
Yeah. Like, they may even be louder than the 4XL speakers. The 4XL wasn't that good when it comes to speakers.
Like I don't have any problems with the speakers on here. They're perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like if you're an audio snob, no, you may not like them that much. Go buy a Note 20 Ultra and be happy.
If you're an audio snob, you're not going to be listening through cell phone speakers. So,
yeah. I think there's just a narrow subset of people that just want to complain about that. I think that they're fine. I think they're fine. Mm-hmm. I don't.
I think because of, like we were saying before, the way people perceive the term flagship nowadays, that's the issue. People are bad-mouthing it because of what it is.
And they're going to badmouth it for what it was. Whether if it was $899 and had better speakers, no one was going to care.
Yeah, I mean, imagine, right? Google came out and said, "Hey, all right, so we just brought out a Pixel 5 Plus or whatever, and it's got a Snapdragon 865 in it, but everything is the same. But I'm going to charge you $900."
I wouldn't buy it.
Huh?
I wouldn't buy it.
No, I wouldn't buy it. But would that make these people happy? Because it's got a Snapdragon 865 in it. That makes your phone a flagship. Because it's already got the 8 gig of RAM, the UFS storage. All right, it's not the 3, but it's 2.1. So it's got UFS storage. It's got the RAM. It's got the high refresh rate screen. It just doesn't have an 865. So let's put one of them in it and charge another $300.
People that care about the pixels largely, I think, are happy with what you got at $699. The biggest complaint I think people have is it's just not larger. Like, yeah, I would like it to be maybe like 6.4 inches. I would be happy with that.
The iPhone 12 at $700? The mini?
It's like this big.
It's like an iPhone SE.
Yeah, I would rather buy an iPhone SE for $399 than go buy a $699 iPhone 12 mini. I mean, here's the thing. A lot of times,
iPhone 11, sorry to just put in, the $599 iPhone 11 is probably a better buy, but
yeah, the iPhone 11 at $599 is a great deal. And the thing is, though, is like the resolution's not even dumbed down on the iPhone 12. But it doesn't matter because it's so small.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, we've got to the stage in cell phones now where, and I've said this before on this show, I don't think you can compare iPhones to Androids anymore, iOS to Android. They are two totally separate entities now that they want each other's revenue, but there's nothing really similar about them anymore. Don't get me wrong, you've got the same kind of apps, YouTube and things like that, but they work so different from each other. Unless you don't care, you're either Android. If you're Android, you're not going to get that guy to go to an iPhone. And if you're iPhone, you're not going to get that guy to go to an Android. It's a different thing nowadays.
So. Well, see, Android also offers stuff all over the world globally from like $79 to $2,000. That's why Samsung is the largest cell phone market share in the world, because they sell like 80 different models of phones at 50 different price points.
Yep. Throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
And they can afford to do that. And Apple will never do that. Apple will never make a $99 phone. Apple will never make a $200 phone.
They're now starting to flood the market. There is 7 frigging iPhones this year. What?
Yeah, they're trying. They're trying.
I'm a Pixel lover, and the 5th is kind of difficult to see the value. Yeah, but you know why the S20 is $650 and it's got this, that, and the other? But you know why it's $650? Because it's the most returned phone in Samsung's range for years. It was the most returned phone in the USA. It was the S20, S20 Plus, S20 Ultra. All three of them phones were in the top 5 for the most returned devices.
And
They're cheap because nobody wants them because they were crap. It was like a Samsung Galaxy S10 and a quarter. That was it.
And they're not necessarily bad, but Samsung doesn't retain their value. The Pixel at $699 6 months from now will still be $550. If
and
you
let's
look,
not forget, Luca, you can get that for $650. But guess what? When you were going to go out and buy an S20 at this time last year, it started at $1,000.
and you weren't buying one then. I'm sorry, but yeah, you can look at stuff as price comes down because they have new stuff coming out. The S21 is going to be out in January, so it's like it's already obsolete. If you want to have that argument, but phones aren't even obsolete anymore because they're good for like 2 or 3 years because they're so good now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different conversations that you can have in this space. And ultimately, it's like, look, buy the phone you want at the price that you want it at and be happy with it. Like some people want Pixels. Some people are happy with the $699 Pixel. Some people are not happy with the $699 Pixel. Some people think a $699 Samsung S20 is a good deal. Some people wish that they had bought it, 6 months ago. Right? You just can't get caught up in that stuff because there's so many stinking phones coming out from so many companies at so many price points.
This, Sam, is a fantastic phone with a camera out of a Moto G4. I said it before. Google should go, and I mean, I know they can't because Oppo own OnePlus, but they should go and make an offer to buy the design team or whatever. They should try and buy OnePlus and have them release their hardware and they do the software for it. This with a Pixel camera in it right now at $749. I said this at the beginning of the show. You put Pixel's software on this thing, which it almost is anyway, but then make sure the camera's right with the software. It'd be the best phone you would ever buy. It'd be the best phone on the market today. And that includes a $1,300 Note 20 Ultra and a $1,400 S20 Ultra. It'd be fantastic. That is the direction they should go, and if they're going to do that, but they won't. So
here's something funny. So I'm just looking at this tweet from Max Weinbach, and he says this is the biggest rumor I've heard in ages, and it's completely an unsubstantiated rumor. But he said he's heard from like 2 people, so don't believe it. But apparently, there's a true flagship Pixel coming out in March of 2021. Again, unsubstantiated rumor.
Foldable. That was the rumor that in March there was a foldable Pixel coming.
Maybe it will. Who knows?
I read that a while. I'm sure I read that a while ago. That was March 2021. A foldable Pixel. Hey Scott, are you still here? Well, how is that? Can you let us know if it's any good?
He's using it right now. He's tweeting. He's sitting on the toilet with his KFC scented fire log, tweeting from it right now.
Yep.
Anyway, well, let's go ahead and call it tonight. We're already 22 minutes.
Yeah, well, what the hell? Yeah, I might go on Call of Duty for a little bit.
Are
you going on?
Yeah.
We
haven't played since like a week, so yeah, I'll hop over and play.
All right.
Yeah, there you go. How those dual screens look while you're sitting on the toilet?
I know nothing.
Pixel 7. It's got 4 screens. It's got 2 on the inside and 2 on the outside.
That's right. See? That's right. The Duo ain't got shit on that. Anyway.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot for stopping by tonight. We appreciate it. As always, y'all are awesome. So thanks a lot. I probably will do my stream later on this weekend, but I think I might try Saturday again. It seems like Friday night, I guess, is a busy night for people, and a lot of people can't stop by. I just did like on Saturday night, like I just out of nowhere decided to do my stream, and there's like 60 people.
I can tell you, 90% of the time, I will not be there on a Saturday.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to be. I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying because Saturday nights is boxing night.
Yeah.
And I watch the boxing religiously. I can't help it. I'm a boxer, former boxer. Boxing is my thing.
Saturday night tech fight. Well, the thing about the tech fight is it starts at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, and I'm going to do my live stream at 9, so I'm sure y'all will be done by then.
They're all saying, someone was saying before that I should go into that tech fight thing. There's a reason why not. why I won't do it, and I will message you, Scott, as to why. I've not told Mike yet, but there is a reason why I've not. I was going to go into it last time, and then I found out a certain person was a judge who accused me of being racist and a woman hater. So I'll leave that to your imagination.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And, yeah, I'm taking a hiatus from it anyway, so I'm likely not going to be there this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's go play some Call of Duty. And thanks a lot, guys. See y'all later. I will see y'all either Friday night or Saturday night. I gotta look and see what happens with the schedule. Isn't Saturday night Halloween?
Yeah, Friday night I'm doing that Soundcore show.
Yeah, maybe I'll just skip it. Maybe I'll punt it this weekend, or maybe do it Sunday. Because Halloween's on Saturday. I'm doing stuff with my kids that night. We're gonna watch a movie, eat candy and stuff. So yeah, Friday and Saturday night probably will be off. It'll probably be maybe Sunday if I go ahead and do it, or maybe just
watch. If you watch the Halloween special on Soundcore, and it's probably going to go on Amazon, you can see me in fancy dress.
Oh, well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, holler at y'all later. Thanks a lot. Stay safe. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy celebrating Halloween however best you can. And see y'all guys later.
Later, Gator.
God, that was the gayest thing you ever said.
Adam is the gayest thing I've ever said.
No. Goodbye.